a very exciting day of Writer's Workshop because we get to start our personal narratives. Yes. Our second personal narrative. Oh. So, what we're going to do is yesterday you took your tiny topic notebook and you picked one story that you were going to write about and you told it to a friend. Today, we're going to look at how we can start our stories to hook our reader so they want to keep reading and so they don't want to put their story down. So what we're going to do to get us started is we're going to turn our bodies and we're going to watch a short video that's going to tell us about how we can hook our readers. Is this a question, Anna? Okay.
Can I get the lights?
Yes, please.
Writing a personal narrative.
You got it.
Writing a personal narrative. Episode 3. Writing an introduction. A personal narrative is a true story about your life. You write about something that has happened to you. An introduction is the first few sentences of your story. It can also be called the opening or the lead. We write introductions to hook the reader. We want the person reading our story to be interested and excited to read more. There are a lot of different ways you can hook a reader. I'm going to show you 4 different ways. The first way you can hook a reader is to start your story with a sound. These are called onomatopoeias. For example, you might start your story by writing, "Boom! I heard a loud crash in my house." The reader would wonder, I wonder what that crash was all about. They would be interested to read the rest of your story. Another way you could hook the reader is by starting your story with talking. This is called dialogue. For example, you can start by writing, "Go away, I told my brother." The reader would probably want to read more to find out what your brother was doing. You could also start your story by asking the reader a question. For example, you could ask, "Have you ever been to a water park?" This would help the reader make a personal connection to your story. People are more likely to like stories that they can relate to. And last, you could start your story by describing the setting. The setting is where and when your story happens. For example, you might write, "One dark, stormy night last weekend, I was home alone." Ooh, I bet the reader would want to read more about what happened on that dark and stormy night. So now I have several options about how to start my story. The story I am writing is about getting a new dog. I think I want to start my story with a question. I'm going to write, "Have you ever felt so happy you could cry? That's how I felt last summer when my mom told me I could get a dog. I had wanted a dog for so long, I couldn't believe I was finally going to get one." Hopefully, people will read the introduction to my story and they will be hooked. They will want to read more. That's it. Check out episode 4 to see how I write a draft of the rest of my story.
Oh, yeah.
Turn your bodies. And Finn, could you get the 2 lights for me, please? Thank you. Okay. Who thought that video looked familiar? So we watched that the last time we wrote our first personal narrative on how to write an introduction. And I wanted us to watch it again so we remembered how we can write a beginning that hooks our reader. It's like when you catch a fish and you hook them and the fish can't get away. That's what we want our readers to do. We want them to be able to pick up your story and your beginning would be so exciting that they want to keep reading. They don't want to put it down. So I want us to take a look at, we read, this was our mentor text for our personal narrative, The Last Stop on Market Street. And so I'm going to read the beginning, and I want you to think about what makes this a good beginning that hooks the reader. Are you ready to listen, Anna?
And just one sec. Look on the back of the picture. There's a gator on the.
There it is.
I know
So
if you open the book all the way.
I'm just going to read the beginning. So we're thinking about what makes this a good beginning.
Oh yeah, I've seen something like. Didn't you see it ago? Remember that from what happened in Marvin Wade? You won. She won.
That's a good connection. All right. So let's listen and see what we notice about what the author did to make this hook us in to keep reading. CJ pushed through the church doors, skipped down the steps. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. All right, I want you to turn to your partner and say what made that beginning a good beginning to hook us.
I haven't read this book yet.
Okay.
I think
Why do you
that
think it is a good beginning?
just no. Don't tell me.
What about it made it sound
It's like in the midst. Because it is funny.
All right, finish up in 5, 4, 3. I heard some good thoughts. Amari, could you share what you shared with us about what made this a good beginning to hook readers?
That it sounded good when it said the CJ opened the church doors.
He pushed. Who agrees with Amari that helps hook our reader? What else made this a strong beginning to hook readers? Melody?
I didn't have a partner. I said Anna and Braxton was like, no, she's with us.
Well, what do you think made this a good beginning, Melody?
I think it made it a good beginning because they put details in it and they didn't say everything about the church and they didn't say CJ went through the church doors and walked down to the bus stop and then the bus stop they got on the bus and then they didn't tell everything on the first page.
Right. That's a great thought. I hope you heard Melody's thoughts. All he's doing, CJ's doing, is he just walked outside. The author could have said, CJ walked outside, but no, he said CJ pushed through the church doors and skipped down the steps. The outside smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and stripped down his nose. All right. Anna, can you wrap us up and tell us why you thought this was a good beginning?
I thought because Amari kind of said that he pushed through the doors, but that was my idea, so I have another idea. It was like whenever I like the detail where it's showing that he's actually skipping down the steps.
That's important. Remember how we talked about how our illustrations need to be detailed to match our words? Did the author and illustrator do that?
Yeah.
They did. All right. I have, I shared with you my personal narrative that I'm writing for my second piece on when I saw the rainbow driving in my car. So I went ahead and I made 2 versions. So first, I made a version before thinking about hooking my reader. And it says, I was driving in my car. It was raining. We were going to the vet. All right, now show me on your fingers if this would be a 1, 2, 3, or 4 beginning. 4 is like 4th grader. 3 is that I hit the target. 2 is I need some help, and 1 is I could really use some help.
What about 0?
0 would mean I don't have a beginning.
Zero means
2. Ava, I see you have a 2. Why did you give me a 2?
It's because you don't feel like you're hooked.
So I wrote a good beginning, but did this hook you?
Yeah.
Okay. My feelings are hurt because I actually went to my mentor text and I reread it because I wanted to see what I could do to spice it up to hook my reader. So here's what I came up with, and you see if this sounds better.
What?
I know it. All right, so listen and see if this helps. The rain was lightly falling. There was a quiet falling onto my windshield. I drove with my sister feeling worried as we took Jack to the vet. When all of a sudden, what do you think, Jacob?
That it was really good.
What did you like about this one?
That you wrote better very quiet.
I did. I kind of wrote it quiet. And why do you think I wrote it this way, going kind of down?
Because it was raining and the rain goes down, not up.
That's exactly right. That's what I did. Could you do something like that in your story?
Yes.
Of course, because you're authors and writers too. What do you think, Jana?
I liked it because you said that the rain was lightly falling down on our windshield.
I got it. Pattern.
What do you think, Austin?
I like how you said
You like when all of a sudden, what does that do for the reader?
it means it tells them something good's going to happen.
Something's about to happen. All right, Lainey, can you wrap us up on our final thoughts on this?
How you can give you away.
Oh, that's important. On my first one, I didn't say who I was with. On the second one, that's an important detail that helps you picture the story. Who I was with, what I was feeling.
And plus, I was gonna say one more thing. That when you put the dot, and when it says when all of a sudden, it makes someone want to read more of your story, and that you have a good beginning, a good middle.
So this hooks the reader. Thank you. All right.
I like your story.
I have some.
So here is we're going to move on quickly, sweetie. We are, because we got a lot of writing to get to, it's going to be your turn. It says, I can write a beginning that hooks readers. All right, let's read our learning target together. You can even get your arrows out. Ready? Read it with me. I can write a beginning that hooks. All right. All right, hands down. You've already shot it.
4 in a row.
Okay, are you ready to listen?
Yeah. 4 times.
Thank you, Addison. Thank you, Cora. So when I call you, we're going to stay at our seats today because I think we're going to do some really good work on our beginnings where our spots are at our desks today. When I call you, Miss Anna, it's a new story, so we don't have any paper yet. So when I call your row, you're going to turn your heads where our paper is at in the 3 drawers. You're going to pick one sheet of paper. You're going to take it to your desk, and you're going to begin thinking and writing your beginning. Now, before we get started, first we think it, then we say it, then we write it. So you're going to think it, then you can kind of say it quietly to yourself, and then write it.
Silly, can you still help me?
If you can think it, you can say it, you can say it, you can write it. Melly, is this a question? Okay. Well, I'm going to save that for questions. Oh, okay, so this actually is kind of like a question. Melody's still thinking about her topic.
I don't
So
have any
Melody-
ideas.
And also your
Melody, you're going to take time to sit and think about your topic, and then when you get it, you can grab your paper and start. Should it take us our entire writing time thinking?
no.
No, this is our second personal narrative. Anne, is this a question?
No, but I have some others.
Okay.
If you don't know what to write about, how about you look in your little book?
Tiny topic notebook.
I still don't know what to write, but I have a lot of We'll go invent.
That is stuff. And you know what? If you start a story and you decide you want to write about something different later, that's okay.
Pick your favorite.
Pick your favorite. All right, questions only so we can get started on our hooks. Ava.
Can you help me?
You know, I actually have in my brain 2 friends already picked out.
Who?
Lainey, do you have a question?
No, you could go around the room and ask people what they like the most, and then she can write about that has the most words.
She could, but you know, we're going to keep it quiet because when it's quiet, we can focus.
And plus,
So we're gonna
Stinson
focus.
is gonna be.
Okay, that's okay. All right, Braxton.
Can you get it in color?
Nope, you're just going to get a plain piece of paper back there and a pencil. All right, I need Austin and Amari. Go get your paper. Go pick out paper.
Oh yeah, and your story can help you grade it.
Austin, go get a piece of paper and come to my desk. Okay, I believe in all of you as writers. You can write a good beginning that has an action, top, or setting that makes a good beginning. Okay, back row, you may go. Okay, Blaney's row, you may go. Okay, well, you look through your tiny topic notebook. You can do it, I believe you.
Should we bring
These are my parents' ones.
Blaney's row, you may go.
I didn't know where he meant.
There's actually a scoreboard.
I thought he meant over there.
And I love how Finn is getting started right away. I love how Braylon's getting started right away. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Amari, did you choose your topic? What was the topic that you chose? Alright, Falcons, think about how our writing workshop looks and sounds. What did you pick? It's going to, okay, now remember, it has to be a seed story. So, if we're writing all about the beach, that would be a watermelon. So we want to, or a slice. So how do we think about one tiny moment while we were at the beach? It could be, have you seen the,
Tell about when I saw the sea turtle and the jellyfish.
yeah, so you could talk about when you saw the sea turtles. Okay, so while I'm helping Austin, I want you to think about how you'd like to start your story that would hook your ears. Just think, don't write. No? Okay, and what did you pick?
When I got my costume.
Ooh, okay. When you got your... Alright, so did you already get your costume? Benjamin, I know you already have a pencil. You may go and sit down. Go ask the pencil. Did you already go? Okay,
Or
so
my grandma's mom just saw it.
when we write a personal narrative, we're writing about one time in our life that's already happened. Did you already go get your costume? Oh, okay, you already.
My girls think I'm getting
Oh, I'm sorry. The one you got has a hole in it. Okay. Right.
So my grandma just didn't come and sew up or give it back. Somebody was at the store trying to
So what I want you to think about is where you want to start your story. Do you want to start it at the store, probably? Okay.
at Walmart.
Okay. So I want you to think about. Just think. Don't write yet. About how you would start it to hook your reader. All right. I'm on. You come up with it. Okay. Sometimes I have to kind of think back in my brain about what I was doing. So where were you and what were you doing? Okay. Are you writing about going to the beach or seeing something at the beach?
I'm writing about going there on the airplane and getting off, and I want to talk about when I saw the sea.
Okay, let's think about that though. Remember, we want seed story. So seed story, I know Hudson, I think Hudson is writing about just the airplane ride. So that would be a whole personal narrative, just the airplane ride, or getting on the plane. So your seed story, you could either do the airplane ride, or you could do actually going and seeing the sea turtles.
And I saw
Okay.
you went to Kentucky. I would understand.
I see people.
Okay, so if I were you, Amari, I would think about which one, the airplane ride, the sea stingrays, or the sea turtles for this story. You can always write about that. Oh, okay. Class.
Yes.
You're at a level 1, but I need you to be at a level 0. Thank you. So think about which one of those you'd like to write on this side. Okay, so when you went to the beach, you want that to be the main part of your story? Okay, so think about where were you at just before you got onto the beach. You were walking onto the beach? Okay. 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 And then you're at the beach. Okay, that's perfect. So we know that we're starting in our hotel. So if we're going to think of a beginning to hook our reader, okay.
My dad almost
That would be a very exciting part. Alright, so you've kind of got a good outline in your head. So if I were you,
But instead, it was a.
hold on, Austin. I would start with saying where you're at. You said that you were in the hotel unloading your stuff. So that's a good start for you. Alright,
But
Austin.
instead, it was a mobile patrol. Instead, it was a mobile patrol like skateboard one. Look, I sat on it and it tipped.
Alright, you said you were at Walmart. So how would you like to start yours?
What kind of? I'm gonna say. What do you think? What do you think I'm going to do what's going to happen next.
Oh, so you want
I might,
like a suspense
like,
or...
I might go get another one, or I might set it up or something like that.
Oh, that would be a good ending for your end of your story. That is a good ending. What do you think for your beginning?
Starting, I'm gonna say, I'm going to Walmart to pick out me a costume.
Okay. So those are I. Can you read that to me?
I am.
Okay, think about this. If it already happened, you wouldn't say, I am going to Walmart.
I know, that's what I said. I am going to Walmart.
But if it's already happened, you would say, I went to Walmart. You're really hearing your sounds well, but when we put in finger spaces, it's going to make it a lot easier for us when we go back and read it. You have I, when, yeah, there you go. Can you read me yours? Okay. Alright, and you're working on how to spell beach? Okay. We've got the B. Do you know how to spell sea? Not the sea like you see with your eyes, but the sea like the ocean? When we spell sea like the ocean, it's actually S-E-C. So sea is kind of like beach.
So there's two C's?
There's not two E's.
No,
There's
two C's.
There are two C's, like the kind that you see with
The
your eyes.
S-E-E.
S-E-E is see with your eyes. And this is like the ocean. So when we spell sea, you can kind of think sea, beach, ocean, water. Maybe it could help you. Sea, beach, see the beach. But no, sea as in the ocean and beach. So if this is sea, what letters do you think would connect in the beach? It's the same chunk.
Or I could just take my story and say, I went to the hotel. I could see the beach.
Ooh, I like how you were saying what you were saying. That's a good detail that you could add in there. Go for it, Amari. We'll come back to beach when you get there. Alright, let's look at yours. I went. What song do you hear next? Close. F. It's actually L. F. And short E. Then comes our L.
Jim. No.
Okay, I went to Walmart. What do you need at the end of your sentence? There you go. Alright. H-O-T-E-L. Alright, see if it makes sense.